Let's get started. So welcome everyone to our webcast today, which is Discover What's Possible on Microsoft Power Platform. My name is Jeff Felice and I'm the Customer Engagement Director here at DXC Microsoft Practice in the ANZ region. And I'll be your host for today. So with that, let's begin. So as I said, today's presentation is about Microsoft Power Platform Showcase. And our speaker today is Mo Al-Zawati, who's a Senior Solution Architect at DXC Eclipse. Mo's a highly experienced solution architect with more than a decade of experience in IT consultancy. And he's performed a variety of roles around business analysis, solution architecture, and project management in both Australia and the UK. So if we're all ready, Mo, I'll hand over to you, and then I'll come back at the end with some questions. So Mo, over to you.
Thanks, Jeff. To the agenda. So in this session today, we will first start with an overview of Power Platform, and we will discuss its key products. We will focus on PowerApps and Power Automate to create value-add solutions for your business, and then we will explore some possibilities by demonstrating a couple of case studies from our customer work. At the end, there will be 10 minutes to answer your questions as well. So welcome to the session. Yeah, great to have you all. Okay, so, Power Platform for products, Power Apps, which enables you to build web apps and mobile apps for your organization. Power Automate, which enable the business to design business workflows to automate manual tasks or sync data between systems and so on. Power BI, which it's the third product. It enables the organization to analyze and present data from different sources, provide real-time visualizations of your data and or a self-service reporting for your key managers. And the fourth product, or the fourth key product, is Power Virtual Agents, which really enables the organization to add chatbots to your app or your portal. Enables with AI in the background, enables you to speak with your external customers and provide them 24/7 service. There's in the Power Platform, there's also a number of supporting services. The key one is there are hundreds of built-in data connectors. So these data connectors are built in, enables you to push and pull data from different systems, whether it's Microsoft systems like Dynamics or SQL, or also there's built-in connectors for non-Microsoft systems like Amazon or SAP or Jira. The other supporting product as well is AI Builder, which really brings the AI, really AI features into to further optimize your business process. Like think about recognizing data in a printed receipt or a lodgement form that's been lodged manually. Also another supporting feature is Dataverse. Dataverse it provides a consistent database layer. The good news about Dataverse is Dynamics 365 data is also in Dataverse now. So that gives you, Power Platform a great accessibility to your Dynamics data as well if you have it. So really, Power Platform enables you to build complex applications, not just standalone applications. And what's important about the Power Platform is all these products requires they're no-code infrastructure. So you don't need to write code, mainly drag and drop and so on. Okay, so again, what's key about the Power Platform products, and we have the Power Apps Designer here, is it provides you a simple user interface that can be used by your internal citizen developers or external providers to this simple user interface basically drag and drop, and enables you to without writing any code to deliver rapid apps. In the designer, and which we will see in a second. You can add multiple screens. You can add controls, text boxes, buttons, change colors, but most importantly is what you see is what you get with Power Apps Designer and Power Automate Designer and so on. Again, another example, and again, just presenting how easy the designer interfaces are. When you create your workflow, you can add actions and steps, things about actions where you want to, when the file is uploaded, I want an approval to kick off, or I want a notification to be sent to my customer, or I want to update dynamics because this file is related to a case in there. Okay, so now bringing one of our case studies from our work with one of our major travel agency, one of our major mining customers. So I brought this example to give you some inspiration of what can be done with the Power Platform. I mean, what you see on screen, how we help the customer is, we build an expenses system. Expenses enables the employees, like we use Power Apps to enable employees to submit the expenses. But not only that, they wanted to be able to scan the receipts, and then we use Power Automate to do image processing with the help of AI Builder. So Power Automate will take that receipt, send it to AI Builder, and AI Builder will, with AI, an AI model in the background, recognize data, extract that data from that receipt, and then Power Automate with a built-in connector to Dynamics will insert that against a customer record. Now, the case study is a bit more complex than this, but that's really an example of, or part of the that story we worked with the client on. And with that, I'll, why keep talking about it when we can see it? So let me take you through, and examples. We've tried to with a few simple examples in Power Platform. So what you see on screen is the Power Apps Designer, and if you look in in this designer, let me take you quickly through the designer. So what the designer does, it lists all your screens. So when you build an app, so it lists all different screens. You can navigate between different screens of your app. If you select a control in the designer, it actually gives you properties, enables you to change colors or change font, but also does have advanced properties and so on. And also, if you look on here, you can insert different controls to your forms, whether it's a textual, input control, or even an image, or video, or even a camera. Now, we can drag and drop many of these into your forms. Now back to I mean, this expenses app is the first part of what what I presented in the architecture. So let me run it and show you what it does very quickly. So you can add a new expense report, choose an approval, and the cost center. Obviously, all the data has been redacted for this app, and so all right. Add a line item. So I bought a food categories, and it was $50. And then I save that. Okay. Now So that's roughly what it does. Now, what we did in here is we said, okay, so we don't want just to submit this. We want people to submit the receipts. So we go to the new item screen. Let me take that off. And we thought, all right, we have this item. How do you actually enable people to add the receipts in here? So it's so I just deleted that, but let me show you how easy to actually support that. So you go to media. I want people to add, the receipts. I'll place that in here. Change a little bit. Okay. And then I'll change what's written here. Yeah, update the labels. And what's cool about this control, for example, it's if you are in a web application or if you embedded this into your web application, it actually will you can upload a document, upload a file from your device. But if you use your mobile, it actually will you can use your camera, take a screenshot of the receipt and upload it right away. Okay, so let's now run this and see how does it look like. I may just change that as well. All right, let me now run it again. All right, so now if we go to our test report, add a new item, and click this, just to give you an ability to, and let's choose a example receipt, and yeah, suddenly you can actually collect the receipt. You can change the receipt. Obviously, you can change the text here and so on, but just this is to give you a feel of how easy to modify things in PowerApps. Now, after you,
Mo, so
yep,
all of that change, you haven't had to write any code, have you?
absolutely, Jeff. So really, I mean, this is what it is in PowerApps. It's all about what you see is what you get. It's all about drag and drop. It's all about no code.
And
Now
no
there's
database, haven't had to worry about database fields or anything like that.
absolutely. So Dataverse give you that consistent database layer, but also the connectors platform does give you ability to store the data in hundreds of systems if you like to. And in the next case studies, you will see multiple a more advanced version of storing data elsewhere.
Fantastic. We'll move on.
Yeah. Okay, so then if you look at this Power App, so let's say the employee complete the expense for expenses report, they want to send it for approval. Now you connect the submit button to a Power Automate workflow. And this Power Automate workflow, I mean, this is the designer you can, for Power Automate. But then if you look here, when they click the buttons, now in this scenario, the data is stored in SharePoint, but then that report will go through an approval. You can see you can add many steps in Power Automate Designer. You can, control, how different messages will look like, the email that will receive the approval. Notify the client that is submitted for approval, and then you can add conditions. If the report is approved, we send an email. If it's approved, send a different email. But I think this is a simple example, but the beauty of this, I'll show you what's interesting about this is the again the easy of adding steps. So you can always add a step here. And let's say one of the steps that you want to do is, all right, if that expense report is under $5, I don't want to to worry, send it to approval. So you can, check the value. I think I selected the wrong one. Sorry about that. Okay, so add an action. Again, choose a condition. See what's the value. If it's less than $5, then I could go and add an action to automatically approve this. Another things that you can do in here is, well, I want in between this approval process, I want to submit data or pull data from another system. So you can use some of the standard or premier connectors. So say you have data in Dynamics, so and then you see all the actions that you can do, get a record or insert a record in Dynamics. Now it says deprecated here because there's a better way to do it, but it's just for the purpose of this demo, I'll probably just demonstrate that. Now you can also use different systems, like if you have an Oracle or a Jira. I misspelled Jira. A Jira, you can add a ticket in Jira for this, for example. You can also, if you have an SQL or an Azure database, you can access it. So really lots of possibilities. Again, all these connectors out of box. It enables you to really do very complex workflows without writing a single line of code. And yeah, so that's take us to the next case study. Okay, so another case study I thought to bring in to give you really good inspiration. It's it's based on our work with one of the major travel travel clients, travel agents, and they do they have a legacy booking system where they process bookings. Now what they had, how they used to process refunds. Before we come in with Power Platform, they used to export refund requests from the booking system to Excels, manually process it, send it manually to the payment management system they have externally, and to then external payment gateways. Now that used to work for them for many years, but now with COVID, when COVID hit everyone, they couldn't do, because the refund request has increased dramatically. And they wanted obviously a better solution, and they called DXC to help. Now they had lots of other issues like user experience and so on, but the bottom line is the solution we brought in is, we said, all right, you have already Microsoft infrastructure like Microsoft 365. Let's leverage the Power Platform. We put a solution in there to enable Power Automate to if you look at the screen on the right, it Power Automate to pull data from the booking management system, then to Azure Databricks, and from Azure Databricks into SharePoint, because they wanted to do something else with it. And then we built a PowerApps to enable them to process refunds. Admin will be able to review more refunds per day, and once they kind of approve refunds in the system, it will go automatically again through Azure and to the payment management system. So really an example of an end-to-end enterprise implementation, not just a little app. It does connect different systems. It does bring data between different layers. And I'll show you that on the screen. All right, so this is the main page where they get daily refund requests. So daily, they have a high volume of daily requests. So you can see they get all these refunds, which makes sense. Like the data, all the data makes sense to the refund admin. Notice here what we've done is we give them a bit of totals as well, so item counts, so they can filter by today's ones, they can filter by certain, selling division or brands. They use different brands. They also can refresh. Now that's interesting because while it looks like, well, it's just refreshing data, what's the big deal? Well, that goes through different layers, Azure, and it goes through the booking system to pull data. Now, not obviously didn't do it during this demo, but that's what we built for them. Yeah, so another thing that is interesting about the app is they process things differently based on what the refund is. So if you click here, you'll notice you get an option, but for other ones like this one, you get more options. And in reality, I mean, this one, because it has one receipt, the admin could make a decision based on what he sees here, where other ones like this one, he needs to go into it and look into it. So let's go through. I mean, this one has 4 receipts. Some receipts may not appear because they they're zero valued, but these are the main receipts for this booking. For example, they can look at who paid for it. They can look into different components, what it is, who are the passengers, and then they can choose to refund. So that's the beauty of this. There's as part of the process, there's a maximum refund they can do, and this is the maximum. So if you can say, right, let me refund $5 for this one, $70. Now $70 is more than the maximum, so it will right away identify that and tell you, well, you can only $63 left, and then you can refund that. Now I'll close that. Again, a very initiative interface. They can access it, obviously, because they used to be to only access things via VPN. This is accessible from everywhere, really, even from their mobile devices. Let's choose one of these and refund it. So if you refund then one of these, refund, and that's it. So it's no longer selected, and it will disappear from screen next time they refresh. They didn't want, obviously, that to automatically refresh, because you can imagine the admin would go through many of these items daily. They don't want to refreshes of any sort. They just want to carry on and sort this out. But that's really all what I wanted to cover in the 20 minutes we have. But I hope it gives you some inspiration of how you can make a great impact onto employees' experience, how you can automate some part of the process to increase productivity, and so on. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Mo. Okay, so yeah, we've got a very large crowd here today, and a couple of questions have come through. So, Mo, you ready to answer some questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so first one, what's a high level comparison between how quickly you can develop an app in PowerApps compared to using traditional code?
Thanks, and that's a really great question, because we classically, on all days, we actually used to do a lot of custom development, and then we started as a practice to leverage Power Platform. Now I've seen, basically working with the clients, I've seen apps being built in 2 to 4 weeks. I mean, this is a very rapid development for apps that used to take weeks and weeks with custom development. So really, many of the apps and many of our work has been around, let's do quick wins, let's do rapid development of things, and make a great impact to our customers.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, and now how do I know when my requirements are beyond the capability of PowerApps and I should be using code instead?
Yeah, no, thanks for this. Well, I think the important thing about Power Apps and Power Automate and the Power Platform is it can cover if it's not your complete requirements, it will cover, say, a high level, or the majority of your requirement. Now, the platform is extendable, so you can benefit from that extendability. So, say you need to create any custom function in Azure and call it from your Power Automate. That's okay for advanced cases. Now, get the benefits of this platform. If it meets 70-80% of your complex requirements, happy days. You get and leverage it and get the credit for it. And then the rest, there's all sort of possibilities in whether connecting to Azure or bespoke development to complement only for complex requirements though.
Okay. And then one last question. So as an IT manager, how do I keep control of the PowerApps that have been built by my end users so that I can make sure that they're maintained and not out of control?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and that's a lot of we're working with many clients, large clients and smaller clients. This always governance is a key thing that DXC has been trying to help them through. And now, at basic level, you need to obviously define the approach for your citizen developer. Use ideas like or strategies like they have a personal development area and there is the production area. Have a gated approval between when they deploy from the personal area to staged area. You need to implement a new feature that just came up is service principles, which enables you to create an active directory group for people that can develop and publish certain app. Microsoft also provides a center of excellence if you want to take it to the next level, a starter kit that have lots of policies and monitoring and alerts, and that enables your organization to adopt our platform if you have obviously a team of citizen developers. In one of our clients, we are working with them to do an end-to-end deployment for PowerApps using Azure DevOps, and that's obviously an end-to-end with gated approvals and so on. That's obviously the ultimate level of governance that you can get to.
Sorry, and one more question's just come through. So how do you choose between developing using a Canvas app or a model-driven app?
That's a great question. Now they are like they have differences. So Canvas apps obviously have more flexibility because you can create you can control more the user experience of the app. You can connect to different resources like data sources. You can there's lots of flexibility with Canvas app. So if you're looking for user experience, flexibility, multiple data sources, then Canvas app. Model-driven apps are meant more for if you say you are creating an app for Dynamics FinOps, for example. So that's one source. You want to do some logic. Maybe you need to connect to other sources, but I think the key thing is it's going to be driven from the data that you have already. So if you have an existing data and you want to model it in an app, then a model-driven app. Now it gives you limitation on what the user experience, obviously. So you need to be aware of that. So you can create more functional-oriented apps in model-driven apps. But Canvas obviously is like lots of possibilities in there.
Now, here's a trickier one that you may not be across, which is do the end users of the apps need to be licensed for Office 365 PowerApps?
So licensing is a big, and I am aware that we have potentially Microsoft in the line. So I'm gonna tell you, licensing is a complex thing. No offense, Microsoft. So now. It's really, I'll say it's very much case by case, depends on your agreement, whether you are a retail customer or you have an agreement. But generally speaking, you need licenses, except if you use a feature like Portal. So Portal enables you to say cover hundreds or thousands of external users or external customers or end users. Other features requires licenses. There is also a pair app license in Power Automate and PowerApps that enables you to do it differently. So almost licensed by the application, not by how many users are using it. So there's lots of options. Once you get into the details, I mean, this is best discussed with us in details, or discussed with your Microsoft representative if you have a certain agreement with Microsoft.
Agree. Well said, Mo. There's lots of complexity and lots of ways to achieve what you want with PowerApps using different licensing options. So, look, that's it for today. We're at the top of the hour now. So, if we just go to that last slide, Mo. Okay, so if you want any more information, then you can reach out to us at that email address, eclipse.info@DXC, or using our website there. That narrows down to our Microsoft practice. Or, of course, you can reach out to your DXC Eclipse account manager or business development manager. If you don't know who they are, then yeah, send an email through to this address on the screen at the moment. So we'll leave it there. Thanks, everybody, for attending today and for your time. On behalf of Mo and myself and our whole practice here, we hope you have a great day. Thank you. Bye for now.